Welcome back, students. Now let us continue the second unit. Today we have to learn role of mass media. Mass media such as radio, television, newspapers, dailies, weekly magazines, movies, mobile phones and computers greatly influence human values. Although the main functions of mass communication devices are to provide people with daily information to be used for entertainment and to be used for business development. Through advertisements, there is a lot of indirect connections with human values and their use. Let's know the explanation about them. First one, radio. Radio broadcasting in India was started in 1927 by the private sector in Mumbai and Kolkata. It was called All India Radio in 1937. Later, in 1950, the Indian government renamed the radio as the Indian Broadcasting Service. In 1957, radio became popular all over India under the name Akashvani. Radio has been operating since before India's independence and is still high in quality. Radio broadcasts news, dramas, children's programs, educational programs, music programs, etc. Both rural and urban people benefit from radio programs. Currently, the private music channels broadcasted on the radio are increasing the music of the people. Next one, television. Television was first introduced in the city of Delhi in 1959 after the independence of India. In the early days, only black and white televisions were sold. Then in August 1982, the first color television set was introduced. Television programs are being broadcast on the public through the INSAT-B satellites. Private television companies were started in 1991. Television, like radio, broadcast various programs to the public like educational programs, health programs, sports programs, drama, serials, movies and art programs. More than radio, television programs have indirectly caused changes in human values. Both good and bad are found in them. Let us see them in detail. Advantages. They get to know world events and scientific news through the Discovery Channel right from home. This increases their intellectual appreciation and scientific attitude. Through news channels, they get to know world news instantly. Example, BBC, NDTV, Sun News. Through these people's political esteem, social esteem and economic esteem increases. People's interest and knowledge increase through broadcasting sports events. Due to this, the intelligence value and health value increase. Example, Star Sports Channel. People's stress is reduced through the channels used for electronic communication. Happiness increases, music increases, and thus artistic appreciation increases. People get peace of mind through comedy shows. Stress is greatly reduced. They lead to their physical and mental health. Then cooking tips, beauty tips and small business programs for women to boost their confidence. Aesthetics, increase interest in physical health. Discourses on various religions, temples and discourses of religious leaders are telecasted in religious programs. Through these, the morals that are sometimes said to reach the people. Special channels for children are not only entertaining programs but also programs that develop their creativity. Maths, English, Tamil, etc. are taught through favorite cartoon characters. They also conduct competitions for children and build their confidence. Discovery Channel's Mouse TV, creating awareness among people through programs related to crime. Then chat rooms are conducted on the airwaves to use the speaking and thinking skills of the people to find out the problems and their solutions in today's society. Next one, interviews of film actors and technicians are aired on the airways. Through this, people get to know about the various departments in the film college, the techniques and their applications. Today, a large number of students BSc. This is also a reason for choosing to study visual communication. Doctors themselves clear the doubts of the people through programs related to medical field, and they get all the information they need to live a healthy life. The surgeries performed by the doctors are televised through television. They learn about the benefits of natural foods, meditation methods and their importance. Experts explain the importance of practice through programs on martial arts like Silambam, Kalari, Karate, etc. These allow us to know about the usage perception among the people. The status quo has changed that politics is only on the stage, political events and political seminars. These events are stirring the hearts of the listeners. It is up to the parents to prevent their children from watching such programs and to advise them accordingly. It is not only the duty of the teachers but also the duty of their parents to eradicate the idea of following heroic adventures of the heroes in the minds of the students. Thus, parents should guide their children to choose and watch good programs as much as possible to increase their interest in songs. Children can be prevented from watching programs by advising them as much as possible or by using technology, that is, child locking unwanted programs. Children should be instructed to watch television only for certain hours. Parents should also avoid sitting in front of the television during their exams. Next one, films. People often go to movies for their entertainment to relieve stress and enjoy things they cannot see and do. Most movies are made with social and historical backgrounds. Few of the films are commercially successful with good plots. Most of the movies are violent and sexually suggestive. Such films are based on entertainment aspects, commercial purpose, etc., without giving any importance to the story. Mostly everyone comes to theaters with family. In today's age, it is necessary for parents to choose movies with a good story and watch them with family, because seeing the story background, seeing scene setting in movies, incidents like students committing suicide, falling in love during school, going on a trip with their friends without the knowledge of their elders, calling them names, talking disrespectfully, falling in love and get married are increasing. Sometimes students watch movies with their friends without the knowledge of their parents. To the parents with whom they are going, one should pay particular attention to which movie one wants to go to as far as possible, as they should be made aware that it is wrong to go to theaters without informing their parents. And filmmakers should also give importance in good storylines. They should not forget that movies with good stories always popular among people. Considering that the film industry also has an important role in society, film should be produced and released in such a way that human values are not damaged. Next, newspapers and magazines and journals. Jehiki started a Bengali language newspaper called Bengal Gazette for the first time in India. It was published about the activities of the British East India Company. In addition to breaking news, there are newspapers in all languages in India such as English, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Tamil. In the early days, the happenings in India were printed daily in these. As other media had less influence then, their sales were huge before independence. Then gradually, after the entry of television, films, etc., the popular discourses, discussions, and broadcasts of the newspapers increase the awareness, knowledge, and interest of the people about today's politics. Election results can be known immediately, leading to human rights. Although the advantages of television are many, the disadvantages are also huge. They are as follows. People's interest in reading books has decreased slightly due to their fascination with TV shows. Television shows have become entertainment, and people are wasting most of their time in front of the television. People's energy and time are largely wasted because they don't plan what programs to watch. Drama serials telecasted for entertainment have greatly affected human values. In them, women are always crying and are shown as insecure or bullies. Men are portrayed as dictators. Most of the serials are implicitly instilling bribery, falsehood, and negative thoughts in people's mind. Inappropriate details such as a woman marrying multiple men, a married man wanting a married man, a married woman wanting to remain unmarried, and a man marrying multiple women are framed and aired as stories that do not suit Indian culture. Its impact on the people with regularly watch these serials will have indirect effects. Women staying at home avoid going out because of their obsession with TV shows. And even when a guest comes home, they are unable to settle their mind. Even if go to important family events outside, the focus of the series remains on their mind. This can be called a kind of addiction. Special programs for festivals celebrated in India are telecasted on television channels, but they often do not explain the significance and background of the fairs. Due to this, the young community is not able to know about the festivals. Those days are welcome commercially. Private channels thus get more revenue from advertisements on those days. Some of the serials which are shown on the airwaves in the name of Veera Sagasam, which are aired for children, incite violence and perverse thoughts among them. Children are more interested in collecting dolls, stickers, etc. related to the characters due to their interest in characters that have more than the imagination. Due to the involvement in the events of serials, the characters try to have dangerous adventures when there are no adults at home, and many young children die because of this. These incidents are shocking to the listeners. It is up to the parents to prevent their children from watching such programs and advise them maturely. It is not only the duty of the teachers but also the duty of their parents to eradicate the idea of hero worship in the minds of the students. Therefore, parents should guide their children to choose and watch good programs as much as possible to increase interest in subjects. Children can be prevented from watching The Sims by basing on programs to avoid as much as possible or by using technology. Children should be instructed to watch television only for certain hours. Parents should also avoid sitting in front of television during their exams. Cell phones or mobile phones being one of the mass communication devices. These were considered as luxury items by everyone at an initial stage. These are now common among people due to the growing technology. Their use is more common among today's young society. Through these telecommunication facilities, message exchange facilities, internet facilities, then calculation, picture taking, etc., can be done quickly, but the extent to which people and young society use them constructively remains a question mark. Essentially, the main function of a cell phone is to contact someone urgently and exchange information. But in today's age, parents do not advise their children to use it constructively. Cell phones are not used constructively by today's young society, which is bought by their children without necessity. They use cell phones to chat with friends and exchange meaningless messages without time. The Indian government, through its road rules, insists that you should not talk on your cell phone while driving. If this is implemented in practice, the mental anguish of the parents of young people who die in car accidents is painful. And every day we see people talking on cell phones in public places in loud voices about sensitive and private things. Men keep cell phones in their pockets. The radiation emitted from it can affect the heart. Also, if lightning strikes it during the rainy season, it can be life threatening for its owner. Although there are many who know about it, no one follows it is in practice. First time buyers of mobile phones get to know their users through notes. This is called mobile learning. They cannot avoid using it later. Psychologists say this is a kind of addiction. Cell phones have dedicated buttons for game. The light generated while playing with it can affect the eyes. Those who are involved in these games waste hours of time. Apart from this, cell phones and the internet are the main reasons for the cyber crimes that are currently rocking India. Those who use the technical facilities in them for antisocial activities. For example, unauthorized photographing of an unknown man or woman with a camera enabled cell phone, sending obscene jokes, pictures, and messages to strangers, taking obscenely and threateningly to a stranger, thus engaging in antisocial behavior, is considered a legal offense by the Government of India. The use of cell phones by teachers and students is prohibited in educational institutes, colleges, school campuses, and exam writing areas. Employees of private banks and multinational banks have been banned from using cell phones with camera facilities. Another social concern in the use of cell phones today is the way in which messages are exchanged. Sending timeless jokes to friends is now commonplace. Greetings from close friends and relatives. Important news from the office has changed. And using this service, whatever has become normal now in this, especially those in the education sector, are suffering a lot. The habit of sending SMS is more common among today's young society students. These messages are mostly sent in the English language. Today's students have low communication skills in English compared to other countries. Students who have both English and Tamil as their medium of instruction naturally struggle to speak and write fluently in English. Thus, the jokes and messages sent by them in English in the name of SMS are further corrupting the language. They use English letters for some words to convey the message quickly. Although these show their creativity and quick thinking ability, it is questionable whether they are good creatively and intellectually. The letters of some words are given below. You instead of you are or Gaya 3 2 because what yes these are the now gaining in popularity as abbreviations used in the English alphabet. If they use it to take notes in schools and colleges, then what will happen to those who study and revise with it? The same practice should be avoided among the students while writing the intervention exams. This is likely impair their intelligence and valuable communication skills. Parents and teachers should realize this and reach them to use cell phones creatively. Parents should make their children aware of the importance of time and avoid buying them cell phones unless absolutely necessary. Also advised not to drive while talking on cell phones. Young people should also use technology creatively. Instead, computer and internet. It, it can be said that there is no computer and internet sector in India at present. In schools, students should learn about computers from an early stage. It is also studied as an optional subject in higher secondary. Many homes have a computer as well as a television. Many young people work in computer based industries. They also earn more information technology and the immaterial progress of the country due to computers and the internet noteworthy. The computer has all the facilities. The computer, it can be said that there are no jobs that can be done with the website. The computer website is used for drawing pictures, coloring impossible, calculating, saving documents, using for conferences, watching movies, listening to music albums, booking tickets at the airports, railway station, etc. The misuse of the internet by the young community is now threatening the country. For example, watching sexually suggestive images, video games that incite violence, participating in online games, spreading threatening messages, broadcasting false images on the internet through modern technology called graphics, etc., are on the rise. The sad thing about this is that no one can stop the films from being aired like this. The only way to do this is through parental guidance and self control. Teachers should also teach students how to use computers and the internet in a creative way. They should also be taught how to collect news and pictures. By this, human values will be protected. Next one, role of voluntary organizations. Private philanthropic organizations play an important role in spreading values. Social organizations like Rotary Club and Lions Club, blood donation camp, free medical camp, AIDS awareness campaign, helping the people affected by natural calamities, comforting their children, and making arrangements for free education to help the people to develop a spirit of service among the people. Some private philanthropic organizations are working to spread environmental awareness among people. These talks performed by these are first engaging in environmental research, conducting lectures, workshops, and seminars on the environment, preparation and publication of environmental documents, grouping of environmental stakeholders, trained them to create environmental awareness among people, resistant to environmental degradation, involvement in protest, involvement in the legal strengthening of environmental protection, monitoring of environmental protection measures. Eco Greens is an environmental protection charity focusing on measures to protect the world from toxic substances, radiation, and air pollution. Next on Rath's process of valuing. Values clarification process. Rath believes that every decision or choice an individual makes is based upon his beliefs, attitudes, and values. Valuing activities the individual student the opportunity to identify a personal set of beliefs that aids in the decision making process. Values and teaching represented a culmination of Rath's decades long work in the area of values and set out a theory of values development called values clarification. It quickly gained popularity among classroom teachers through the late 1960s and early 1970s. At the time, Lawrence Goldberg's theory of moral development was the competing approach to working with values in the classroom. Both Rath, Harman, and Saint Simon and Goldberg rejected the dominant approach to moral instruction in schools inculcation. In their view, telling students that cheating was wrong or that honesty was the best policy was a particularly ineffective way to develop values. As value clarification gained popularity in the early 1970s, it was criticized by academics writing in journals and by conservatives including William Bennett and Phyllis Schlafly in the popular media. Rath did not respond to these criticisms publicly, although in private letters asserted that a lot of the sharp commentary was aimed at a version of the theory he did not recognize. The critics, in his view, were largely attacking a straw man. In addition, as time went on and more individuals were writing under the values clarification banner, the term values clarification came to be associated with the self-actualization and human potential movement of the field of counseling psychology. The focus will be on an account of values clarification as it was explicated in values and teaching, which had its foundations in John Dewey's pragmatism. As will be seen below, values and teachings follows the path of Rath's work in needs and thinking, the identification of behavioral standards, followed by the design of interventions that can afford an opportunity to test the theory. One educational approach to help students make value decisions in the values clarification process outlined by Rath. Rath's process of values clarification is one method to help people identify values or make moral decisions. Values clarification process. Rath believes that every decision or choice an individual makes is based upon his beliefs, attitudes, and values. Rath assumes that educators know what processes are most effective in helping students develop their individual systems of values. His 7-step process is listed below. First, choosing freely. In choosing freely, students must be able to select values without coercion from others. The facilitator needs to develop environment that is conducive to allowing participants in express and choose their values without peer pressure or ridicule. Second one is choosing from alternatives. As with any decision making process, there must be at least two options from which to choose. Obviously, if there is only one value to choose from, there is no choice involved. Then third one, choosing after thoughtful consideration of the consequences of each alternative. This calls for careful consideration of the risks and benefits of each alternative. The consequences of each alternative must be identified before an intelligent decision making can be made. Then fourth one, praising and cherishing. If a person has truly developed a value, he or she should be willing to respect that value. A value is fully meaningful if the person believes that the value is worth praising and cherishing. Fifth one, affirming. If a value has met the aforementioned criteria, then the person should be willing to publicly affirm and support that value position when appropriate. Then sixth one, acting upon choices. The value position one has selected should provide guideposts for behavior. If the value is prized and cherished and selected from alternatives after weighing the consequences of each alternative, the person is likely to exhibit behaviors congruent with the value. Next one, repeating. A value position that serves as a guidepost for behavior tends to be applicable in a variety of situations. A value position that influences one's behavior tends to form a pattern in one's life. According to Rath, the process of value clarification is more important than the actual value selected. Unless a person satisfies all the criteria listed in the 7-step process, the results or position cannot be considered a value. This method of defining a value, though somewhat concise, eliminates a variety of beliefs, attitudes, feelings, and opinions from consideration as value. Instead, these terms have been labeled value indicators. They include goals, aspirations, attitudes, interests, feelings, beliefs, activities, and worries. Values indicators have meaning in a person's life even though the 7-step model was not used to choose or arrive at these value indicators. According to Rath, harmony and Simon must be present for a value to be formed. A value cannot be indoctrinated or inculcated. It cannot be the only available option. its consequences, and the consequences of alternatives must be anticipated, understood, and considered. It cannot be choices that the individual feels ashamed or would deny. It cannot be simply be altered or established solely through an exploration of feelings. It is worth noting four important points about this definition of value. First, includes first definition is includes affective, cognitive, and behavioral elements, which Rath has in distinguishing it from the work of Lawrence Kohlberg and his aim to developing moral reasoning alone, working from a Piagetian perspective. Kohlberg's theory of moral development focused on the logic of reasons